All right, so we've got some more data here that didn't quite come in the way we expected. So we're going to go through another series of function formulas that are going to allow us to kind of fix this data. So the first thing I want to look at here is going to be the order date. A lot of times you'll download information, data like this, and the dates will come in like this, where you'll end up getting the year split off from the month, split off from the day. And even though there's not a big problem with this, it's just that there are going to be certain things that you'll want to be able to do later on, maybe with filtering, with pivot tables, things like that, where you need to have like real dates. So in order to take care of this one, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be using a function called date that will combine these three pieces of information and actually give us a real date, which is pretty neat. So the way we're going to do this is we'll go to D2, we'll type in equal DA, you'll see date pop up there, and it just needs to have three pieces of information. So the first one's going to be the year, comma, and then the month, comma, and then the day, and that's it. You enter that in, and you can take that, and then at the bottom right hand corner, double click that, takes care of that. Now if you want that to be a true date, as if it were typed in, not one that came from a formula, as we saw in some of the previous videos, you can actually take this range here, which we already have selected, right click it, hit copy, right click it, and then do this 1, 2, 3 here for the value. So what you're doing is you're pasting back the value. In essence, you're getting the true date. And because we've done that, we really don't need this. Unless you think you might, then you can keep it, but we're just going to figure we don't need it. So we'll just go ahead and select that like that, right click it, hit delete, and off we go. Now another piece of information, which happens to be the supplier phone, came in with some of the formatting, to separate the area code and the regular phone number. But what we're thinking is that we don't want any of that. We just want it to be just a raw number with nothing, no extra characters in there. So how would you get rid of that? Well, we have a function called substitute that will substitute the hyphens out for nothing. So we'll just basically remove it. So the way we're going to do this is we're going to do an equal sub, and you'll see substitute. In this case, we'll reference the phone number, then a comma, and then we have to tell what we're going to look for. So what are we going to substitute? We're going to substitute, and we'll go ahead and put a quotation mark, hyphen, quotation mark. So that's what we're looking for, right? And then we're going to replace it with nothing. So that means just two of those. Now, on the other hand, if you say, well, I want to replace the hyphens with, periods, then what you'd do is you could do something like that, and you could just put the periods in there, or the period in there, and that would put the periods. But in our situation, we just want to have nothing in there, so we'll just do that. And then we'll go ahead and enter that in, and there we go. And then we can go ahead and copy that all the way down. And because we don't need this anymore, we need to get rid of the formula, because if we don't get rid of the formula from this and then try to delete this is reliant upon this. So what we're going to need to do is remove the formula from here, and then we can get rid of this, because we really don't need this anymore. So while it's still selected, we're going to do a right click, we're going to hit copy, right click it, and then do the 1, 2, 3, and that then gets rid of the formula. Now it's going to come up with one of these smart tags, and if we click onto that, it's going to tell us that the number is stored as text. And what do you want to do about it? Well, it's a phone number. We're not going to be doing any kind of calculations on it. So as far as we're concerned, we don't care that it's stored as text. If it bothers you and you say, well, I'd really like it to be stored as a number, then you can say, well, convert it to a number. But in our case, we'll just say, you know what, we don't care. So we're going to click on to ignore error, just like that. And then you can just hit the escape key, and there we go. All right, so then we go over here, do a right click on column D, delete that, and now that takes care of that part. Okay, so now this next one, what I want to do is in column E here, I have a number of different like status levels that these companies are at, and a lot of them have PEWT for pewter, and that just doesn't sound real good. So what we're going to do instead is we're going to swap out pewter with bronze, BRNZ, all right? So all the occurrences of pewter, PEWT, will be BRNZ, all right? So we're going to go back over to here, all right? We're going to do our equal SUB, all right? We'll double click on the substitute. And now we're going to be looking at what we have over here, and then a comma, okay? And we're going to tell it to look for put, so in quotation marks, PEWT, okay, and then a comma, and then we're going to replace that with BRNZ, so in quotation marks, BRNZ, just like that. And then once we've done that, hit the enter key, and there we go. Then we can take that and copy that all the way down. Now, because we've done that, we really don't obviously need this anymore, but what we have to first of all do is get rid of the formula that it's where that formula is dependent upon this. So while this is selected, right click it, we'll hit copy, and then right click, and then 1, 2, 3. There we go. And now we can go over here to E, right click it, and delete it. There we go. That worked out pretty nice. All right. So now for the next one, what we want to do is we want to replace anything in this second column with just ZRPY. Okay, so ZRPY, we want to replace this. So we can't really use the substitute because the substitute kind of homes in on a specific spelling, item there. And that's not what we're doing, is we're homing in on a particular, kind of almost like a position in a way, and replacing the position with something else. So the GOVT, the INTR, basically their position starts at what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 characters in. So that's what we're talking about here. So in order to pull this one off, we're going to be using the replace function. So in this case, what we'll do is we'll do equal, all right? And we're going to type in RE, there's replace. All right, so we're going to start by referring to what we want to, work with, which is going to be E2 here, and then comma. And now what we're going to do is we're going to tell it to go in 6 characters. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 characters, right? So go in 6 characters and go from that point for 4 characters, all right? And replace that range with, and now in quotation marks, ZRPY. That's it. So we go ahead and hit the enter key. You can see we've got that one replaced with ZRPY. Now we'll go back and copy that all the way down. Now that whole range, position range there has been replaced. Okay, so now this next thing we're going to be doing is going to be on another tab here. So we're going to go to the third tab. And what we have are, they could be anything. They could be product IDs, they could be customer IDs, they could be almost anything. And we wanted to do some really off-the-wall changes to this information. So in this first section here, what we want to do, in essence, is add the letter F, all right, to the beginning of this, and then replace the 0 at the end with a 1, okay? Sounds off the wall, but I'm going to tell you, I had a student of mine many, many years ago that wanted to do just this. I mean, I kind of changed it up a little bit, but they instead, in essence, wanted to do this. I actually wanted to do this one and this other one I'm going to show you as well, but very kind of interesting. And I just thought it was kind of a unique situation, and I've shown this to other classes, over the years, and many of them, I've had students in there where they've really said that, hey, I could see using that, or I wish I would have known about that a while ago. So I guess it is somewhat popular. I'm not going to try to tell you that, oh yeah, this is like the big one. It's not, but it's just it's a very unique situation. So we're going to use a combination of both the concatenate function and the replace function to make this happen. Okay, so we're going to go to this cell right here. I'm going to type in equal CON. You'll see concatenate come up. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put another parenthesis in there. Oops, sorry about that. Not yet. A quotation mark, okay? And we're going to tell it we want to put the letter F in that very beginning. So we're basically saying, okay, we want to concatenate what? Well, we're going to put an F in, that's number one, and then a comma, and then a left parenthesis, and then RE for replace. So double click that one. We're going to tell it we want to replace what's in this case it's going to be A4, but I don't think I can get to, yeah, I guess I can. So I'll click on the A4 here. There we go. If I couldn't get to it, I could just type in A4, by the way. And then a comma, and then 7 characters in, hit the number 7 here, comma, and then, so 7 characters in, comma, and then we're going to put another 1 in there, a comma, and a 1. And this is going to get it so we can actually get that 1 at the very end, okay, of that little phrase or that little string, okay? And now, once we've done that, we got to balance off all of our parentheses. So we end up having, what, 1, 2, 3 parentheses. So we need to go ahead and, oh, you know what, I didn't put a parenthesis here. I needed to put, well, actually, I don't need to have one there. So we'll just go ahead, we'll go over here and we'll put in there 1, 2, and then our third one there. Then we'll go ahead and enter that in. And there we go. Worked perfect. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and we're going to copy that all the way down like this. And there we go. All right, so that did in fact put the F in the beginning and then replace the 0 with a 1. Now for this next one, this is going to seem, again, pretty wild. But what we want to do is we want to remove the 0 that's in the beginning here and replace it with an F, all right? And at the very end, the 0 that we have here, we want to replace that with a 1. So kind of similar to the last one. And that's why I was saying that I got this idea from that student, and they were, they had the, they want to know how to do both of that. So both of those, I should say. So anyway, so what we're going to do here is we're going to start out with our equal, all right? We're going to type in RE for replace, all right? We'll put in 2 parentheses, as you'll see why. Oop, 2 parentheses in there, all right? And we're going to put in CON for concatenate. And by the way, too, you can also use the concat function as well. This one's going to eventually be gotten rid of. So, and I think I told you that in the other video. So you could use that one too. Or I'm still just going to use this one here. I'm a creature of habit, I guess. So concatenate in there. All right. And then within there, I want to get that F. All right. So we're going to go ahead and put the F in quotation marks like that. And then we're going to put a comma in there. And then we're going to put another left parenthesis in there. And we're going to put the replace in there. So that replace function. And here we're going to be looking at A13. So we got to click on A13 there, comma, 1, comma, 1, and we're going to tell it that we want nothing at the end. So, and then we have to kind of replace it with a 1. So we're replacing the 1 or the 0 with the 1. That's in essence what this is doing here. So we'll put a comma, 2 quotations, and then we'll close off a parenthesis. I think we're going to have to do, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, all right? And then a comma, all right? And then an 8 for the position, comma, 1, comma, 1, and then our first parenthesis, get that rounded, get that balanced off. Okay, I know you're sitting there saying, my God, Chip, really? I would tell you that, if anything, know that you can do this. You'll have downloaded this example, you know, from our tab off to the right there. So you could download this, have this just off to the side, you know, store it somewhere, this file. And then when you need to do this, you can always bring this up and then you can see what I did here and then kind of, you know, fix it with what you're doing. So anyway, so we do all that, enter it in, there we go. And we'll go ahead and copy that all the way down, and that's it. So hopefully most of this comes in handy for you guys in the future when you're doing other work with your worksheets here and working with data. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks a lot.